Today's question is mom taken to the emergency room was that buzzers mass more serious than cold, serious man cold. But this is what we been like the link to the video will be the description below. Go in second match. So let's into this reaction in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I was kind of robbed of yesterday. I woke up with a slightly scratchy throat, a little bit of a tickle, a light headache, and mom just stole the whole thunder and went full ER on me. And I was like, how can I compete with that?
Hello and good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of the week. Kids are home. Hazy's still just living life in her pajamas. As you can see right here, I have 4 post-it notes because I did assign the kids some chores to help me this morning. Get to it in a little bit. Basically, I was in the hospital yesterday, and I'll explain all of that when Brandon and I sit down. He can tell his side of it because I think he thought it was no big deal, and it really ended up being okay. But we had a lot to get done this morning. Our house has been kind of in shambles. It's been a little nutty. Basically, we had to play catch up. Yesterday, I was planning on doing tons of laundry, just kind of catching up on life. Really love to use Sundays to treat it as a day of rest, what it should be. Sometimes things are crazy, like I was gone with Stephanie for the weekend, I was busy Thursday night, I needed to catch up. And so Sunday's a great day to do it slowly, go rest, enjoy my day. Unfortunately, I had to lay in bed the entire day. That meant I had to do it today. So the kids have been super awesome. I wrote them all a post-it note of the things that they needed to do to help me. We've gotten it all done. Then I had to have, you guys, our house is a smart house. Everything is run off of apps and internet and all these things. And when I got my new phone, it was pretty much logged out of everything. And the person that created and set up the entire house had the logins, and I didn't know them. He came out and helped me with a couple of things. So we were kind of doing like a little, I don't even know, geek squad appointment. I'm the geek. No, he's the geek. I know nothing. I am fully on hands with it. On deck. Hands on deck. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I am fully integrated with the system now. So all things are looking up. Been a great morning so far. Trying to get started on a new week, but it's fun to have the kids home. They're planning right now to go do some fun stuff with friends, and I'm going to help facilitate that, make that happen. So it should be a really good day. Brandon's done working. We'll catch up, tell you the whole thing from his point of view and mine. It was a very interesting day. Thankfully, everything is all right now. Some of the kids are working on their Friday homework. Rexy Doo is tasked with it. The teacher, for some reason, puts a lot on the Friday homework.
It's gonna take 2 hours.
She likes to assign a lot on online Fridays. Doing awesome. Kirby checked over his. Ryguy, have you done your Friday homework?
Yep,
hey.
some of it.
Okay, well, it has to be done today.
Yep.
But I'm gonna take Crew and Ryguy. They both have a few plans. Ryler is going to be dropped off at a train station. They're gonna ride the train downtown and go through what we call the bins.
Yeah.
And it's
I don't know much about it. I went once.
Basically.
I didn't find much stuff that I like, but hopefully.
Well, you did find a couple of things, and everything went into the DI pile to go back to the thrift store. Kruby is going to go hang out with his cousin Ashy, and they're going to go to the mall.
I'm so excited.
And Crew wants to look for some new basketball shoes. He's got some money saved up from his grades that we paid him back for. If you guys haven't seen the video, where we had to pay him back for all the money over all the years, he has some money to spend. So he's going to go look in stores to make sure of what he wants and possibly buy some at the store, possibly online. Have fun. Be safe. I'm going to go drop you guys off right now. It's going to be good. And Brexy, how about I bring you back a special treat, buddy? What would you want?
I don't care.
Love you.
So we have successfully completed the Friday homework on a Monday. Well, I don't know if we actually completed it, but we're taking a break. We got like 4 of the 6 assignments done.
Braxton's teacher goes all in.
And it was like, I was helping with his essay, and I was like, I don't think I wrote an essay like this in college. But
Well, I'm glad that I wasn't here for that.
it did take me 12 years to get through college. But, but you guys got a little story to bring you up to speed on here because, as you know, we don't typically vlog on Sundays. Sometimes some crazy stuff happens on a Sunday.
You know, sometimes
You wake up and you're ready for church and end up in the ER. And I'm just throwing that out there because that is exactly what happened. It is absolutely wild, the story. Downside of sharing it with you in a visual medium here on the vlog is that we didn't really document any of it because, first of all, it was a Sunday. We just didn't like have the camera on us. We were kind of going to church and then from church, and we don't take a camera to church. And then after the fact, it was like, boy, I wish I would have had just something to remember that. It was such a wild experience.
One picture of my glory.
We do. We had just a picture we sent out to family and friends just to say, hey, mom's here. She's good. Let us give you the lowdown of how we ended up in the emergency room on Sunday.
It was super weird. I had gotten ready for for church. I was getting Hazy ready for church. I'd finished and I thought,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw in a load of laundry before we head off.
One thing that's funny is that I mentioned in the vlog before about how it's nice that church is a little bit later in the morning. And so like we got to like not sleep in, but it's not quite as early as it used to be. So it was a very routine Sunday morning. It was like we have a cadence that we have to make sure like kids are appearing at the top of the stairs by this time or we're gonna be late. In the garage by this time. Everything was really going according to plan. Mom had like a few extra minutes to grab some loads of laundry.
Lean over to pick up a load of laundry and I'd stand up and then I was like, I just felt weird. Went to Brandon's closet, did the very same thing and I was like, whew, kind of like grabbed my balance and I was like, that was weird. So I walk out here to the kitchen and I tell Brandon, I was like, I don't know, but I feel super weird this morning. Something doesn't feel right.
Everybody has experienced the bending down and picking something up and then standing back up.
Brandon says, oh yeah, I get that all the time.
Getting
The
like
little stars.
seeing why you kind of lose your balance. I was like, yeah, you know, that'll wear off. Haven't eaten anything yet today, so that's going to be on top of that.
I never eat in the morning.
And you did like a 7-step water spa massage thing the day before. Who knows what's going on inside your little inner ear there. We have some responsibilities that we do at the church that are very important that we get there before everyone and get it all set up, or church can't really start for the most part. And so I needed to get the boys to the church. So I said, okay, I'll go. You don't have to. You can just come join us when you join us. I went there.
But he did leave Ryler home with me.
Yes.
Thankfully, he left Ryler home with me because I needed Ryler's help. Brandon goes off to church and I just decided maybe I should sit down for a minute. I felt really weird. I would like look up at this wall right here with all the paneling and it just looked so weird. The room was spinning and then I started sweating. Ryler, I think I'm gonna throw up. Please get me a bowl.
It's all like in a matter of
Ryler
seconds.
was
Like
there.
it was just like.
It was bad. Ryler's texting Brandon like, I don't know what's going on with mom. This is super crazy. But I was texting Brandon. I says, Ryler's ready for church. Come and grab him. I'm not gonna go. So Brandon came home,
So I
grabbed
came
Ryler.
home and I got Rye Guy. You were doing all right. I think at that point, it feels like the room's spinning, so I'm just gonna sit here and close my eyes. I was like, all right, cool, we'll see you after church. So I went, took Ryler to church. I wasn't there 15 minutes, and you'd made a phone call to the doctor. You'd explained, here's the symptoms, here's what's going on. The world is moving all around me. I can't open my eyes without like losing balance, and I feel like I have to throw up all the time.
Then my fingers and my toes were getting tingly. It
Oh,
felt
man.
really weird. The biggest part that was concerning is I couldn't stop throwing up.
I was gonna say, at some point, you started to throw up like nonstop. I mean, we're talking like, I feel like it was as soon as you opened your eyes, you're throwing up. You wait like a couple of minutes and then you were throwing up. And so that was what made you think, yeah, kind of grody,
Sorry
but
for the details.
that's
Wow.
what made you think, okay, this
I
is
call-
something I need to talk to a doctor about.
Yes, called the doctor that had just recently prescribed me a new medication. I had every single symptom for that medication. And I said, I think that I'm having severe reaction to it. She goes, I don't know. Maybe it's best if you just go to the emergency room. Text Brandon. I said, please come get me right now. She said to go to the ER. He comes home to get me. And
Left the kids at church because they're surrounded by neighbors and friends and they'll find a way to get home. And I didn't want to freak them out by saying, I've got to leave and get your mom to the emergency room. So I was like, hey guys, I'm going to go home and check on mom. And then, yeah, I'll be in touch. So they were there with friends and actually ended up just hanging out at the neighbors after. And I think we successfully kept them from freaking out, you know, before we had any information. But Ryler was a little bit older, a little more keen to what was going on. So he was asking for regular updates throughout.
Brandon walks in and I just said, I'm in our bathroom. That's pretty much where I was planted from the second I was able to change out of my dress. Tried to stand me up, start walking, and I could not walk. Like I was just crying, super emotional because it was actually kind of scary.
Get her up and we're trying to get to the car, and I'm not joking, you guys, and I just figured like, hey, hold my hand and we'll walk, and she cannot stand up. I mean, she's fallen into walls, fallen into doors, tripping over herself, taking half a step and then standing there crying. And so I was like, okay, this is much bigger deal. And it seemed like I'm walking backwards with her holding on to my two arms. She has her eyes closed, head straight down, just trying not to fall over. We get into the car, bring the little bowl with us. A tiny bit of TMI, but just to let you know like the level to which it was at here. Before I get around to my door, after I get her in her door, the bowl needs to be emptied. Come in, empty the bowl, clean it out, bring it back, refilled again by the time we get to the ER. So we're on our way to the ER. She's just eyes closed, throwing up the whole way. We're like, all right, well, this is gonna be kind of a big thing, I'm guessing, because I've never seen you behave like this at all. Pull into the front. That was hard enough getting from the bedroom to the garage. We are not gonna try and walk from a parking spot. So we pulled her right up to the front, walked her in the front door, got her checked in. First thing that they did is they put you in a wheelchair, didn't they? Or yeah.
Me in a room, they immediately made me change, and before I knew it, they had like 5 people in there hooking things up to my heart. They said whenever
Wow.
it's the dizziness and some of the symptoms I was having, they needed to immediately do an EKG and check my heart.
I was surprised how many people, I mean, we've been to the ER a number of times. A lot of times it's a sit and wait, and then sometimes it's like my shoulder that was popped out. I was like in an auxiliary room that like wasn't even the ER, and they just like wheeled a machine in there. Have 5 people in the room right away. First of all, they take her right back to the room, and then they're hooking up like, I think you had like 5 or 6 little monitors on you to run an EKG. They wanted to do some blood tests, some urine tests, and so they get all these tests going. The doctor comes in and has her do a series of like physical tests, like touching fingers and rubbing your heel against your shin, just weird stuff that will help him understand better what's going on. So while this is going on, we still don't know what the heck it is or why we're in there. Kind of fear the worst, but you're hoping it's not a big deal.
After all the tests came back, the doctor came in and said, there's 2 things we worry about. Either it's like an inner ear problem or it's a central brain problem.
All the tests came back negative for anything except for like slight dehydration.
Yeah, they said I'm perfect, actually.
Actually, that's literally what
They
the
actually
nurse
called
said.
me perfect. So, I mean, what can you say? Anyway, so they just said it's probably a horrible case of vertigo. Gave me some meds to help with the nausea and the dizziness, and then they also gave me those prescriptions to bring home.
One of the things that they said that I thought was very interesting, you had something similar when you were 12. He said, I just don't remember like throwing up though. And he, I think, made perfect sense of the whole thing to me when he said, think about when you would ride roller coasters, go to like a state fair and they have that gravitron thing that just goes in circles. You would do that over and over as a kid because it was like fun and exciting. You get like a little bit dizzy, but it was mostly just like a thrill. You get older, go on a roller coaster, like say I go on a credit coaster twice back to back. I gotta take a break. I gotta make sure I didn't have any churros recently. And you really gotta watch it because your body handles that sensation differently. So now he said, imagine you went on that like spinny gravitron thing like 100 times at the same time, and you're now at this age, you are going to just immediately want to throw up and get nauseous. And so once he explained that was why I believe like you couldn't even open your eyes. Everything was spinning so crazy that it was causing you to throw up. The only thing you could do is really just close your eyes and sit perfectly still. And that's the wildest thing. Diagnosis or the remedy that you do next time, you might be going like, what do you do if this ever happens again? You just basically like have to wait it out. It's like a 1 to 2 days of misery that you just have to wait out.
Some people have been messaging me that they've had it happen up to like 5 days. I don't know how you would deal with that, but
yeah, she was sitting right over there like in a ball when we went to church and just could not even open her eyes. It's crazy.
no, it was awful. But they did send me home with anti-nausea medicine that helps with the dizziness.
Like
if it does
anti-dizzy,
happen again, I have the meds at home. So after staying there for a couple of hours, the medicine got into my IVs, started working, felt much better coming home. Was actually even talking and maybe even snickering just a little bit.
Oh yeah, like you even made some jokes. Like I was just relieved to see her even like laugh or even like respond back to a comment, because throughout this whole thing, no matter what was said to her, she could barely say any sentences back. So I was like, this is a great sign that you're actually just even interacting again. You felt pretty good today, this morning. You've been feeling really well.
Yesterday I had a really, really bad headache at the end of the day, but I think that was just from crying and throwing up.
It's traumatic on the body for sure. I was like, so how do we make this not happen again? Or how do you prevent this? Or what are some things that you can avoid or include in your diet? He said, really, it's just something that's very random, happens very infrequently for most people, if it happens at all, and then it just kind of happens. There's nothing you can do. He said that it's most likely inner ear related, and so if it happens again or starts to be more frequent, you're going to want to make like an ear, nose, throat, right? ENT or whatever.
They'll have to write me in order to go see that specialist. I mean, I feel like I'll be good.
It didn't happen in the last like 20 years.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be okay.
If it goes another 20.
That is a story. Thankfully, I am just fine, but Brandon here is
I was kind of robbed of yesterday. I woke up with a slightly scratchy throat, a little bit of a tickle, and then I had like a light headache, and mom just stole the whole thunder and went full ER on me, and I was like, how can I compete with that? Now I've got to come home and wait on her hand and foot when I was kind of looking forward to a day of just being served, and so mine is on hold for the next man cold. I think as soon as that hits, I have to cash in on that one. Maybe I'll even hit up the ER. Seems to be like the way to get the maximum amount of attention.
I just go to the ER all the time. Today was an awesome day. Got the kids fed. I think everyone liked the dinner, by the way.
Oh, it was fantastic.
That was great.
I just felt bad on Maddie and can we say his name? Maddie and her special friend missed out on that one. That was supposed to be our Sunday dinner.
Yeah,
we ended up in the ER, so we couldn't do it. But
dang. Well, I got out of making dinner one night, so.
Then you made it the next night. Man, was it good?
It was a good one.
That was like, that's got to be on the rotation, I believe.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that was good. That was a great review. Dad's gonna get into bed. Man cold's getting
the
best
best. It's
of
early,
him.
but I'm like, man cold o'clock. You've got to get into bed.
So he's gonna get some rest. You guys, thank you so much for all the love and support. I shared a little bit of the story on social media on Instagram, so thank you so much for the love and support.
Wild Sunday, but crazy how quickly you bounce back. So that's the good news. We even kind of joked a little bit, like you hate to go in there and have it be nothing because it's like almost a little embarrassing. Like, oh my gosh, I went to the ER for that.
Vertigo.
But then it's like, well, would you prefer that you came home and it was something incredibly serious, life altering, our lives were never the same after that? No, I would take the going in, and maybe it wasn't that. I think it was necessary. I still do. I can't imagine you sitting over in that corner, puking your guts out, and we don't do anything about it.
So good as new. Ready to move forward on another week. But you guys, we love you. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. I am fully on hands with it. On deck. Hands on deck. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
There was mom taken to the emergency room, was up, but there's a much more serious man cold, but this is all we beat them. And link to the video will be a description below. Go and check them out. And drop a like if you like. And comment down below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new. And click the bell to be notified when I upload in a month. Bye.